Hey folks, welcome to another edition of PlayBranson, where you get to know Branson entertainers better. My name is Chris Meyer. I'm going to be your host for the show today, and we have an awesome show. It is literally a couple of years in the making. I kid you not. Mike Patrick is going to be on the show. If you've been in Branson any length of time, Mike Patrick is one of the hardest working entertainers. He's the MC over at Grain Country and produces all their shows, and we're really looking forward to talking to him. I think you're really going to like what he's wearing too. I'm telling you, it's pretty darn cool. Every once in a while, I like to talk about some of the things that are out there that we want you to take advantage of. First of all, if you haven't seen it yet, we have our PlayBranson magazine out on the newsstands or in racks. It's free. You can pick this up. It's a magazine about shows and attractions here in Branson. It's a great resource to let you know everything that is going on in Branson. So check that out. Next, if you're coming to Branson, you're like, where should I eat? The Flavor of Branson Dining Guide lists literally every restaurant in the Branson area by category. In the back of the magazine, there's about 30-40 coupons that you're going to want to take advantage of, but this is the #1 dining source in Branson, the Flavor of Branson. Look for it in racks in your hotels. That's primarily where it's at. It's probably in some other spots as well. Another thing you might ask or might check your room out is the Taste of Branson. This is a menu highlight magazine. We've got some great restaurants in there and some of their featured menu items. And then last but not least, if you are looking for a map, I've got this restaurant map here that highlights some area restaurants, but it does have all the shows and attractions for the most part on the map. And then on the back, there's lots of great coupons here, everything from 10 to 25% off dining options. So just a couple of ways that you can stretch your dollar in Branson, learn more, and be sure to pick up our PlayBranson magazine. I love the cover. We got the Duttons on it, so be sure to check that out. You'll learn all there is to do here in Branson. I'm going to give you just one entertaining or interesting or dumb fact. I normally do more than that, but today we're just going to do one. Canadians say sorry so much that a law was passed in 2009 declaring that an apology can't be used as evidence of admission to guilt. So they must say it a lot. Actually, I'll give you the second one. If you cut down a cactus in Arizona, you could be penalized and go to jail for up to 25 years. So don't do it in Arizona. Do it in Missouri. Just joking for you cactus lovers out there. We'll be back in just a minute with Mike Patrick. Hold on, buckle up.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to PlayBranson, and today I am really fortunate to be here with Mike Patrick from Grain Country. Mike, it is so good to have you.
Well, it's an honor to be here, and we finally made it work. We've been trying to do this for 2 years.
And sometimes people, I think they think we're joking. That's not the joke in this case.
Yeah.
I think you're one of the hardest working entertainers in Branson, and I want to talk about everything you're doing. But let's go way back and talk to people about just how you got into this business.
Well, it's my 31st year of entertaining in Branson. I started growing up in Nixa, which is just north of Branson. The founding show in town was called the Ball Knobbers. Well, there's a church in Nixa, Riverdale Baptist Church, which is also called the Ball Knobbers Church. All the entire cast went there. Bill May, that owned the show, was our song leader. Tommy Blue, that was the MC, was our pastor. So I just grew up with all these people. It was a long time before I realized not everybody did a show at night. Because I was around all these people, that's what they did. So from the time I was 4 or 5 years old, I was in love with Branson and knew I wanted to be a part of that. So I first applied with $4 City, I think I was 14.
Wow.
Too young. And I wanted to work on the train. So they finally hired me a little earlier, when I was 16, to work Lost River. And I knew the train script inside and out, kept pestering the guy that was the boss on the train. And they called me one afternoon out to the Robert Shack and said, you really know this? I said, absolutely, so that they had somebody need to be replaced. So the train pulled in, and I did it word for word and got the job right there.
Gosh.
Which was a great job. That was one of the funnest jobs I had, was working at Star City. Worked at the Saloon Show. Started playing piano for the Max Bacon family. They had a show here at Grand Country for, I think, 24 years. No, they almost made 30. It was 28 years. Anyway, I played piano with them for a long time. Max Bacon was good friends with former Attorney General John Ashcroft, our former governor of Missouri. They sang together, so I played piano for them for a long time. And the show, and which also led at the same time, there's a lot of things that overlapped, performing with the Foggy River Boys. The Foggies were the fourth show to start in Branson. They started in Kimberly City in 1971, then moved to the Strip in 1974, and retired in 1983. But I had the opportunity to play piano for them and go on the road. Meantime, I'm going to college.
So you're doing all this before you even, or like while you're in college?
Yes.
Like, that's crazy.
It was crazy, especially like when we had to go on the road in the winter, trying to make finals or do tests and keep up with schoolwork. But we made it work. But so I started in communications management. That's my degree from Missouri State University. So then I started in management at Silver Dollar City. Started producing the shows. For a while, I supervised park rides, and then went into producing the shows. Well, my last year at Star City, I had 13 live shows: Kids Fest, the Gospel Music Festival, and Christmas. And Glenn Robinson, that owns Grand Country, kept twisting my arm to move over there. And finally one day, I made that move to there. I've been there, 30 years working for Glenn, 18 full-time as general manager of the theater. I started with Grand Jubilee producing that. I never planned to be back on stage. It's just funny, we needed an MC, and I was cheap. So I was supposed to do it 1 year, and it's 16 years later, and I'm still hosting the show, which has led to our own television show, Branson Country USA. Grand Jubilee operates 6 nights a week at 7:30 every day, but Sunday year-round. That's a pretty aggressive schedule.
So when you get to take a vacation, you really like that, because you don't have that much downtime.
No, we take about a week and a half off in January and a week and a half off in August.
Yeah. So you know the week your vacation is.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and so you're, not only are you in the show, you're managing the theater, you're producing the shows. Like, someone the other day said you were doing the work of 2 or 3 people.
Some days it feels like that. Yeah. But also you're in a business that this is what I always wanted to do. And our team of entertainers, technicians, it's almost a walk in the park. You pinch yourself because they're great people, they're family people, very talented people, which makes it really easy to put the shows together.
So you talked about playing piano, and so when did you start playing? Like, were you really young, or?
Yeah, I was 4 years old when I started piano lessons, and they would only let me play classical.
Okay.
I had trouble reading music, and they found out one time at a recital when I played the song in a completely different key, and that's when my teacher realized I wasn't really reading the music. So I didn't want to play classical, so about the time I was 7, I quit piano lessons, and when I was 9, I saw a Jerry Lee Lewis television special, and I told my mom, I said, that's how I want to play piano. So then I just started picking it up by ear.
All by ear.
Yeah.
That is a talent. Just in itself. That amazes me. I love it. So a lot of people are on the Strip now transitioned out of Silver Dollar City, and so Silver Dollar City has kind of been a training ground in some respects for a lot of the entertainers in Branson.
And when I was producing shows at Silver Dollar City, that was one of my favorite parts of the job, is bringing somebody that maybe not a lot of experience, a little bit green, and watching them develop. Like Saloon Girls, you bring them in, maybe they had some cheerleading background or maybe a little dance, but not acting or comedic skills. And it's so much fun to rehearse them and go see the show 2 months later, and they've blossomed into stars.
Yeah.
At Grand Country, I don't really have the training ground that we had at Silver City, but that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So tell people, when does the day normally start for you and end for you?
I go into the office about between 10 and 10:30 in the morning. Go home at 5:30 to take a nap. I've reached an age where I have to have a nap before the show. I treasure that nap. People always want to take me to dinner, and it's like, no, that's nap time before the show.
Okay.
But then do the show at 7:30 and done 10 o'clock at night.
10 o'clock. So it's quite a long day when you think about it. And then you're always thinking about like the future, like you're always having to produce stuff.
Yeah, we're in the middle of 2020 right now. We're already working on the shows for 2021. I already have the schedules written for 2022. We just have to stay ahead of it because we use a lot of the same people. The band plays 3 or 4 shows, so we almost run it like a military operation. We do a weekly television show. The band has to learn 13 songs a week. So CDs come out on Saturday, charts are made on Monday, there's a rehearsal Thursday, we tape the show on Friday. So it really is a military operation.
Yeah, it makes me feel like this little show is not much when I hear what he does. In that case, I tell you what, this is a great place for us to stop. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a minute with more.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to PlayBranson. We are here today with Mike Patrick over at Grand Country. And Mike, Grand Country has a lot of stuff going on. And tell people, you have so many different shows. And so tell people about those shows. What can they expect if they've never been?
We produce 8 shows in our theater. There's 2 shows that we consider our flagship shows. Every afternoon at 3 o'clock, we have the Comedy Jamboree. A lot of fun. There's singers and dancers, a lot of audience participation, 3 very talented comedians. Those guys are hilarious. The stuff they come up with is, the show's never the same twice.
We've had some of those comedians on. We've had Andy Parks.
He's brilliant.
I think we had him on last December, actually, and so go check out those episodes.
Yeah. So then 7:30 every night we have the Grand Jubilee, which stars New South, our quartet. We have Jamie Hagee doing comedy. Jackie Brown is our female vocalist. The first half is country and gospel. The second half we do 50s through, complete modern day. You'll see the quartet doing a little YMCA action, which is kind of fun after you've heard them do a big gospel number and see, different sides of them. So then we layer on amazing pets on weekends year round. That's trained dogs, trained cats. I don't know how you train cats. I have 2 that do nothing, but it's really cool. So that's at 10 o'clock every weekend, and then it's there almost every day during the summer, the 3 months of summer. Then spring and fall, that 10 o'clock slot, we have Down Home Country, which is a classic country show. All live music. Jarrett Doherty on comedy in that show. Jamie Hagee headlines that show, Melody Hart. Then on Thursdays at 3 o'clock, the quartet has a gospel show called New South Gospel. 2 hours of foot stomping, hand clapping, southern gospel music. If you like to go get the shows, you'll love what they do. It's an amazing presentation. And then on Friday nights, we do our television show, Branson Country USA, which we're syndicated. We're in about 80 million homes across the country. When you get home, check your listings, see if you can catch our TV show. You can get an hour of Branson every week in your home.
It's on DirecTV. I do know that.
Yeah, it's amazing. We have people. There was 3 ladies that came from Florida. Said watch every week. Just want to come meet you, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
So you know where that goes. And then on Sundays we have 2 shows that feature Tammy and Tanya Ballou. I mentioned the Ball Knobbers earlier. Those girls grew up performing with their family of the Ball Knobbers. Then they went off to be the Stutterettes from El Tillis. They were his backup singers for 17 years. So they have 2 shows. They give all our other shows a day off on Sunday. So at 2 o'clock is Ozark Gospel, which is an all-gospel show. Ozark's Country at 7 o'clock, which is a country variety show.
Now
I think I named it all.
Now the show on Sunday, correct me if I'm wrong, but Droopy Drawers is now...
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Droopy Drawers, his dad started that character. It's been a running character in the Ozarks for about 61 years. And so Tim Mabe, the son of the late Jim Mabe, has carried on that tradition. We were excited to add him to the lineup this year.
So in really all of your shows, primarily, well, maybe not the gospel, but you have a comedy element in the...
Oh, absolutely. People want to laugh.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. You can sometimes break the ice with the comedy more than a song with an audience.
Yeah, but I think that's what makes your Branson. There's shows in Branson's that aren't what I call Branson shows, but your shows are Branson shows. Yeah. And there's like a formula to that.
Absolutely. And I think we have very talented people working for us. When I write shows, I don't pick, say, Patsy Cline's song Crazy. if that's the best song Jackie can sing, I know she's going to show off on that. That's what she's going to sing. I write the shows around the talent, and I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And a lot of hospitality.
Yeah. Now I've been to your show, and you knew I was in the audience, and all of a sudden, you're name dropping me in the show, and I always find that amazing that you can you have that flexibility in the show, and most people probably in the audience don't even know what you're doing, but I know what you're doing.
Well, it's fun for us, especially, we do 300 shows a year.
Yeah.
So it's fun for us when somebody's in the audience, to make up things or use somebody's name and break it up for us.
Yeah. I just think that shows how talented you are, too. I'm like,
it's a lot of fun. A lot of stuff ends up on stage.
yeah. So besides the shows, you guys have a big complex there.
Yeah.
So tell people what else they can do kind of at the complex.
Well, we have a 319-room hotel, which includes an indoor water park. It was Missouri's first indoor water park, Splash Country. Where it's 83 degrees year-round in there, so it's great for the winter. It's also a nice place in the summer. We have 3 restaurants, Grand Country Buffet, which is an amazing... It's hard to work there to stay out of the food.
Oh, my gosh.
It's fantastic. We have a pizza buffet, Papa Grant's Pizza. We have a family arcade center. We have 3 mini golf courses. And we have some shopping, and it never sleeps. We operate year-round.
Yeah, so somebody could go there and they could go eat before the show. They could go see an early show, eat after the show, go to another show. They can play mini golf. They can shop. So there's a lot of things that can be done right there at the...
You can pull in the parking lot and not leave. Yeah.
Jamie Hagee and you kind of do a lot of bantering together, and you guys have been working, over 20 years together?
I would say 26 years. I think somebody asked us recently, I think we decided it was 26 years.
Yeah.
Jamie's he's a very talented guy, very funny, but he can play every instrument.
Yeah.
He can do anything.
So where do you, I gotta ask, where do you get the jackets?
These come from Jaime in Hollywood.
Hollywood.
There was a guy named Nudie Cohen who made all the country stars, probably Porter Wagoner, all the rhinestone suits. Well, Jaime worked for Nudie. Nudie's passed away, so I found him. I go out there and get measured and tell him what I want, and 3 months later, here comes the suit.
Wow.
They're fun.
Can you imagine if I had something like that? Or something like
we need to we'll find you a jacket.
Yeah.
Next time I come back.
True story, I'll tell you this true story. Years ago, I went to Puerto Rico to talk to some travel agents, and I went on behalf of Branson. I think the chamber people couldn't do it or something like that, and I called Steve Presley up. I'm like, Steve, I need something flashy. And so they had, a jacket like that. And so I took that jacket down there and wore it to do my presentation. And then I did that one time with some folks in Phoenix, and I tell you what, they don't forget you.
Oh, no. These are a lot of fun to wear. They make a racket in the dryer, I'll tell you that. But
oh my gosh.
they're fun.
GrandCountry.com?
GrandCountry.com, or you can call the box office, 417-335-2484.
And so folks, be sure to go check out the folks at Grand Country. Lots of shows. I'm not going to remember every single one of them, so why don't you name them off one more time?
Grand Jubilee, Comedy Jamboree, New South Gospel, Amazing Pets, Down Home Country, I think this is a test, Branson Country USA, Ozarks Gospel, and Ozarks Country.
So there's something for you over there at the Grand Country Complex, folks. And lots of different shows. You're going to have a good time. I guarantee you're going to laugh. If you don't laugh, just come find me and I'll give you your money back. That ain't going to happen. And Mike, thanks so much for coming to the show.
Thank you. I'm so glad we finally got to make this happen.
Yeah. Folks, we'll be back in just a moment with more. Hey folks, welcome back to PlayBranson. We're wrapping up the show. I love what Mike Patrick does over at Grand Country. He is one of the hardest working, hardest promoting guys in the entertainment business here in Branson. Mike, we just want to say thanks for coming on the show because we know you are extremely busy. You can see Grand Jubilee Monday through Saturday nights at 7:30 p.m. You can see Grand Country USA at 10:30 on, I think it's maybe Friday night. If I got that wrong, it'll be on their schedule. And you can buy all of the shows there at iBranson.com. You can call those folks at 877-ENTERTAIN. They can help plan your entire Branson vacation. It's mid-September. You can still plan your fall vacation here. And, in fact, the Harvest Festival at Silver Dollar City starts on September 23rd. You've got craft days and pumpkin nights, so you've got craft vendors, live shows, pumpkins everywhere coming. And so Branson's just a great place to be at in the fall. So come plan your trip in Branson. 877-ENTERTAIN. The folks at iBranson.com can help you. We're going to keep playing if you keep watching, so keep watching us here at PlayBranson.com. Check us out on all the social media channels or PlayBranson.com. We'll see you next.